This is your before and after story. Prepare for an incredible career in nursing. At Southeastern College, experience expert hands-on training. Learn real-world skills in our professional lab and simulated settings. And train for opportunities as a practical nurse, registered nurse, or career advancement with our RN to BSN program. At Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sac.edu to get started.
KFI AM 640 is later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And if you know anything about the Dodgers, you know what I mean when I say it's time for Dodger baseball. The game just finished. And of course, in Dodger style, they had to make it interesting. And I was flooded with all sorts of great memories of going to games with my dad. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But if you don't know, the Dodgers held on to win 5-4, and Shohei Ohtani hit not one, but 2 home runs. Here's the second one.
Comes home to Ohtani, smashes a drive, center field, Shohei Ohtani, we're gone!
He goes where very few men have gone before. This is a long, long way.
On the biggest stage, once again, you just think it can't get any better. The Dodgers are now 3-0, undefeated so far. Yes, they're not going to win every single game this season, but they opened Dodger Stadium and the official opening day for Major League Baseball in all sorts of style. They have a murderer's row of hitters and some of the best pitchers. This arguably on paper, and what I mean by on paper is if you just listed the names and looked at their histories, look at their career stats, how many will be potentially in the Hall of Fame when all is said and done. This is on paper arguably the best lineup, inclusive of pitching, in baseball history. No exaggeration. And I'm sorry, Angel fans, your team sucks, and you're in the wrong market to be having to deal with the Dodgers and watching Shohei Ohtani go all world just on the other side of the city. I know life is not fair. It's not meant to be fair. I'm a Dodger fan, and I'm happy about all of it. And if you didn't hear the end of the game, the Detroit Tigers, they got a couple people on base. It looked like that Blake Trinan, the closer for the Dodgers, was going to walk the bases loaded and possibly allow the Tigers to get back in the game. This is what happened.
3-1 with a sinker. Gleyber Torres doesn't have terrific speed at second base. They're looking for their first hit tonight with runners in scoring position. 3-1. Jam shot. Freeman coming under it. Dodgers will win it. That cutter got in on the fingers.
Hercules.
And LA celebrates a home opening win, 5-4.
Dodgers won.
A big 3-1 pitch gets the job
3-0.
done. And the save.
Angels lost.
To the world champion Dodgers.
I understand Mark Ronner's not a baseball fan. Good evening. Or at least he doesn't care that much about baseball.
But I want you to be happy, though. So what pleases you pleases me.
Well, I'm very pleased that the Dodgers won tonight. I don't know about Tuala, if he's a baseball fan per se. But the Dodgers won. Thank you very much.
I could care less, but seeing you and your joy,
I am giddy.
This is beautiful to watch.
Giddy.
I feel the same way. Like it doesn't matter to me, but to see Mo so overjoyed is just so uprising to me.
If you don't know me, you may think that this is an act or a put on. Or I'm just performing. No. As a child, going to games with my father, I would live and die with the Dodgers. When they lost in the World Series to the New York Yankees in 1977 and 1978, I cried both times. It hurt me. Okay? And the way, I even remember the way that the Dodgers would lose. 1978, they had won the first 2 games and then lost the next 4. It's like they would look like they were on the way to winning the World Series, and they didn't. I remember, I think it was 1974, they played the Oakland A's and they lost, and the Lakers were not very good. They had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They'd make the playoffs, but they weren't like the Dodgers at that time. This is before Magic Johnson, so the Lakers weren't Showtime. The Lakers weren't the Lakers yet. It was a Dodgers town in the 1970s. I'm talking about when you had Steve Garvey at first base. You had Davey Lopes at second base. Bill Russell, shortstop. Ron Say at third. You had Dusty Baker, Reggie Smith, and Rick Monday and others in the outfield, depending on the year. But that Dodger infield did not change for 10, 11 years. It was unheard of. And then they finally broke through in 1981. Winning the World Series against those hated New York Yankees. And I would watch the games with my father at home, even the rest of my family, but especially between my father and I, because every single day in the morning, he'd read the sports section. If you're not old enough to remember, they had this thing called a newspaper. And that's where we got our sports information from. He would read the LA Times. He'd read the sports because he would get up in the morning before me. So he would open the horse racing forum in there and look at the latest at Hollywood Park or Santa Anita. Tim Conway Jr. is probably listening. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. And then by the time I got up, which is around 6 a.m, and I'm going to eat my breakfast, he'd hand the sports page over to me, and I'd see what the Dodgers did if I didn't see the game or hear the game the night before. And we'd talk about the Dodgers. We'd talk about their prospects of winning the World Series. It was very common that we would watch in what we call the family room, the big TV, that big furniture thing of a TV. We'd watch the games together because back then you did not get to see all of the games like you do now. This is pre-cable. You didn't get to see any of the home games. The only way that you're going to experience the Dodgers was listening to Vin Scully. And then it was Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett back then, if I'm not mistaken. And you would listen to the games, and you have a great appreciation of Vin Scully. There was no one better. And you would occasionally get the Dodgers as part of the game of the week on Saturday, and you would occasionally get some of the away games because they would show them I think on Channel 11. But it's not like today where if you have a Spectrum subscription, you get to see every single game. All 162 plus playoffs. It was just unheard of. So it was more an event. It was special to see the Dodgers, to experience the Dodgers. And so anytime they win the World Series or they do something great, I am just giddy as can be.
Comes home to Ohtani. Smashes a drive. Center field. Shohei
He
Ohtani. Gone!
goes where very few men have gone before. This is a long, long way.
Dodgers 3-0. Love it, love it, love it. But that's not all that we're going to be talking about on the show tonight. You guys always talk about In-N-Out and its hidden menu. Well, there's some changes which are going to be made to the hidden menu, and it's going to cost you more money. Everything's going up. Higher prices everywhere, from eggs to In-N-Out. And speaking of restaurants, then we're going to tell you about all the LA restaurants which have been shut down due to health code violations. It's not funny, but it's funny. And I'm going to give you some behind the scenes on how bad it really is, regardless of whether you see a letter A in that window or not from the health department. Oh, it's bad. And once you learn too much, it makes it real difficult for you to eat out at all. And Pasadena reaches an agreement to host the Olympic soccer at the Rose Bowl. Some time ago, we talked about what was the Rose Bowl going to do to remain current. There's one of the examples. It's later with Mo Kelly. The Dodgers won. The Dodgers won 5-4 over the Detroit Tigers.
Comes home to Ohtani. Smashes a drive.
Shohei! Ohtani!
He goes where very few men have gone before. This is a long, long way.
This is talking about going to outer space. He went where very, very few men have gone before.
Very few men have gone before. This is a long, long way.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. We have your in and out update when we come back.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
I love me some in and out, even though I almost never eat it anymore. I remember it fondly. I drive past it almost every day, and I wistfully yearn to have another double with cheese. Just had to modify my diet. I don't eat red meat all that often, if ever. I mean, it's at most once every other month. It's mostly white meat and just more vegetarian. I mean, I'm trying to think the last time I had red meat. Maybe it was like on the pizza with, no, is that pepperoni? Or
yeah, pepperoni's not really
red meat. Yeah,
it's a different kind of category, kind of.
Almost never then. But when I do, I gotta have some in and out. Got some good news, bad news. The good news is we'll probably order some in and out tonight after talking about it. Stefan, you need to find an assistant or somebody who can like go to.
Yeah, we need a food grabber.
The bad news is, well, In-N-Out is raising some of their prices, at least on their secret menu. According to a memorandum sent out to In-N-Out stores, and it was posted on Reddit, In-N-Out is making some changes. And this change is intended to match the price of the secret menu favorite, the Flying Dutchman. The off-menu item is simply 2 meat patties topped with 2 slices of cheese, no bun and other toppings included. Yeah.
So good.
It's getting better by the sentence. The item is typically priced around $5.50 here in California. Now, if you know anything about the secret menu, you can order the patties and cheese individually, and that will come out to $3.40 if you want to go through all that work. The cost of adding patties and cheese to regular burgers, such as doubles and 3x3s, will not change. The memo sent by the chain, the franchise chain, claimed that the price increase is due to confusion surrounding the pricing of the items. They're going to be raising the prices on individual slices of meat and cheese. But I've never ordered it that way. I've never ordered individual slices of cheese or an individual patty. I know that's a workaround if you want to save $1 or $2. I get it. It just seems like it's more work.
My landlady orders meat like that from drive-thrus for her dog. I don't know any human who orders food that way.
Oh, lucky dog right about now. I will eat the stuffing out of some In-N-Out right now.
No, make no mistake. Her dog eats better than I do.
Oh, good. Only thing I don't like about In-N-Out on the fries. Seriously, I can leave the fries.
No, you get the fries animal style.
Wait. What's wrong with the fries?
Usually when I get them, they just seem kind of drab and like they've been sitting out for a while.
That's why you get them animal style.
From In-N-Out?
Yeah.
In-N-Out, look, come on. Let's not front like In-N-Out fries are just delicious.
Come on now. Don't lie to me.
They're
right.
not.
Thank you.
They're not that delicious. But if you get them animal style, then it's fire with all the cheese and the onions and the sauces and all that. Then it's good. But the fries by themselves, I throw those things away.
Yeah,
You know, it's funny because Neil Saavedra, the Fork Reporter, talks about that. We're so used to more processed fries that since their fries are literally the potatoes, they chop them, throw them in the greaser, and then give them to you. That's why we're not used to them. But yeah, you gotta sauce them up.
You gotta sauce them up, and I don't think that they cook them with any hamburger grease.
Oh no,
but they do like with McDonald's, and that's part of the reason why the McDonald's fries are so good. And also got in trouble because they weren't letting vegans know.
Yeah,
it's like, because you're eating fries and beef juice.
There's always some secret ingredient, like the tears of children or something that you don't want to know that it's
that got dark real quick. We got dark, macabre, morbid. Tears of children. Golly. Gosh. Woo. I don't know how I'm going to come back from that one.
Sorry. I didn't mean to derail the whole show, but, but it's true.
Let's have an honest conversation. Who the hell is going to go get some In-N-Out right now? Anyone?
Man. Yeah, we need that.
Look, I showed up with food, so I don't know. I'm good.
Well, so did I. But all this talk about In-N-Out has changed the trajectory of the show.
I don't know. Really Fuchs is the one that let Richie leave.
There's got to be. What about Colin? Is he done with the Dodgers broadcast next door?
He might be done, actually. He might be just doing the post stuff.
Okay, let's find out.
Okay.
If we can get him. And how close is he in and out to Waller from
It's
there?
far. It's not close.
Man.
The nearest one is all the way over there in Birmingham. Near
the media
movie
center?
theater.
Yeah, by IKEA?
Yes, where the line is going to be, will be off by the time he gets back.
I wonder if we could bribe him somehow.
Let him order as much as he wants.
Yeah. It's like Uber Eats. You got to pay a delivery fee. I don't mind.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we're going to end this segment a little bit early so we can talk to Colin, who runs the board for AM 570 LA Sports, the Dodger broadcast. We want to see if we can trick him into, convince him to go get us some In-N-Out food, even though they've raised some of the prices on individual patties and cheese slices. It's later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app. But we may change our mind again about the In-N-Out after we have this next segment. We're going to tell you about the LA restaurants which have been shut down due to health code violations. And you may have eaten at some of them or most of them.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
My wife, back in the day, used to work for this company called Ecolab. And her job was to go to various restaurants and eateries, anywhere in which food was offered. It could have been a 7-Eleven. And she would look for any type of violation. Like, for example, if you had cardboard boxes behind your restaurant out by the trash can, that's a violation, for example, because it's almost like you're inviting vermin to live there. If you have food which is too close to the floor, for example, in your kitchen area or wherever, that's another form of violation. And she would tell me about these things, and it completely changed my whole idea of not eating at home. You can know too much and make it real difficult for yourself. Like I tell you about my sister, she would tell me what was happening on planes all around the country on a daily basis. It makes it a little bit more difficult for me to fly. Same thing here with restaurants. When I read this list, it doesn't surprise me at all. I just try to be blissfully ignorant when I eat anywhere. Anywhere. Because if you know too much, you'll never get past it. But health inspectors have shut down dozens of LA restaurants for a number of reasons which are going to make you sick. If you are eating right now, I suggest you put your food down because this is going to get ugly. And we're just calling names. It's nothing personal. Just let people know. Cavatina Bistro, which is 1931 Pacific Coast Highway in Lomita. I know where this is. Reason for closure, vermin infestation. Pastries by Nancy. How did a pastry...
No. I don't want you to skip past Caviente because we have to let them know it's high risk, meaning it's a lot of vermin. It's not just that they were shut down. It's not just vermin, high risk.
As far as I'm concerned, shut down is shut down. You know, we were shut down, but we were just low risk. Pastries by Nancy, high risk, Tooele. 761 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. Have you eaten there by chance?
I have not, but I know where it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Reason for closure, no water, hot water. California Health and Safety Code section, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Fresh Canes, 9008 East Garvey Avenue, Suite F. Low risk. Reason for closure, vermin infestation.
Okay,
maybe it's just one rodent. Maybe it's just, one rat. Just one.
As opposed to rats.
7-Eleven made the list. Of course it did. It didn't even have that many food offerings. 7-Eleven. They got them rollers, those chicken rollers, and some pizza and some wings.
Now they have these tacos that are crazy.
7-Eleven, 14300 Bellflower Boulevard in the city of Bellflower.
7-Eleven?
Yep.
Man.
Low risk, but there was no reason provided. You don't really need to have a reason to close a 7-Eleven.
That's just because. Just close it.
Today you're closed. Why? What do we do? Damn it, you're 7-Eleven. That's reason enough.
It's for everyone's safety.
Village Cafe. Well, at least you can't get robbed. Village Cafe, 20122 Van Owen Street. High risk. vermin infestation. Nabemono Shabu Shabu in Alhambra, 27 East Main Street. Reason for closure? Vermin infestation, high risk. Killer Kebab, bet your ass, 11283 Santa Monica Boulevard. High risk, vermin infestation. Hotel Normandy.
That sounds bad.
Oh, it sounds like a temporary office for people.
I was going to say, it sounds like the hotel off of Figueroa.
Yeah.
605 South Normandy Avenue. High risk, vermin infestation.
Sure.
Not that you're trying to eat anything at the Hotel Normandy. I wouldn't even put my ass on one of those. Never mind.
We lost enough Americans in Normandy.
Samyi Cake LLC, which is 4213 Rosemead Boulevard. Moderate risk, vermin infestation. Donut Town and Water, 10306 Wilmington Avenue, Suite B. Moderate risk, vermin infestation.
So they sell donuts and water?
They sell donuts and water and a free rat for your purchase.
Oh.
It's a prison-themed outfit.
Pho. I'm sorry, it's not pho. It's pho. Pho Pasteur, which is Vietnamese food. And it is 8821, or was 8821 Valley Boulevard in Rosemead. Vermin infestation, high risk. Burger Factory, the second, Incorporated. 1358 West Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, high risk. Any guesses? Vermin infestation.
So wait, so what happened to Burger Factory the first?
I guess that already got closed down as well. Because this is like junior.
We went to the second one.
Leo's Mexican Food, 7550 Laurel Canyon Boulevard. High risk, vermin infestation.
I'm sensing
That's not a big place either. There's only like 30 seats.
I'm was going to say, I'm not going to lie. These sound like all the places that I pick people up from after the club.
Oh, yeah. That we had no problem eating at either.
When you're that drunk.
But I haven't seen any Denny's on here.
True.
Just saying.
Fair enough.
Vita Cane, 8819 Valley Boulevard. A lot of these are obviously mom and pop places. Low risk, but still vermin infestation. City of Rosemead. Los Amigos Mexican Salvadoran and American Grill.
Wait, which one?
5162 Sepulveda Boulevard in Sherman Oaks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that on your list, Chihuahua?
I've eaten here.
Vermin infestation, high risk.
Oh, hell.
Just hantavirus.
Hell.
Just don't worry about it. Fish and Chic, CHIC. 11816 Wilmington Avenue in LA. Vermin infestation, high risk. I'm going to stop going to donut shops because all these pastry shops are on this list. USA Donuts and Croissant. 8009 Imperial Highway. Moderate risk, vermin infestation. The Poke Republic and Sushi Roll House. I don't know if it's Poke or Pokey, whatever.
Oh, Pokey.
Pokey, okay. 11102 West Olympic Boulevard in LA. Reason for closure, serious or repeat violations, disease transmission.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Damn.
That almost sounds like a biohazard.
Disease transmission. Somebody caught something there.
No,
we're not talking about food poisoning.
No. This could be like, say, disease transmission of like Shigella. You know, I got Shigella from a Pollo Loco out here in Burbank. I got it. And,
wow, you called them out for no reason.
No, because they should have been on this list from what happened to me. I was hospitalized because of that. It's one of those times I was hospitalized because of someone not washing their hands and transmitting poopage to the food.
A special.
Gosh.
Yeah, but unknowingly, it's under their fingers, their fingernails.
Fresh Canes, 9008 East Garvey Avenue. Low risk, but vermin infestation.
Where's your red line on the vermin?
I don't know. Does it really matter if it's low, moderate, or high risk?
Okay.
Well, again, I mean, low risk could be like they're seeing droppings, but moderate could be you're seeing one or two, and high is like as soon as you turn the lights on, they just scatter.
It's not a dropping, it's a kipper.
Green Table Cafe, 5998 West Pico Boulevard in LA, vermin infestation. Highland Park Bowl, 5621 North Figueroa Street. There's Figueroa. Vermin infestation. La Goccia, Goccia, 101 North Brand Boulevard, number 130. Is that in the mall? Moderate risk, vermin infestation.
This is like Nosferatu. They're everywhere.
Everywhere. And we closed up with Samurai Ramen Bar. It's a great name, though. Samurai Ramen Bar. 1260 South Soto Avenue, Suite 6. High risk. Let's all say it together one more time. Vermin infestation. And there are your restaurants which have been shut down.
This kind of reminds me of your theory, Mo, when it comes to the ocean. It's like, oh, well, the poop stops at Huntington Beach. It doesn't get past Laguna Beach. But, you can go in the ocean because, there's a line there.
I would add to that and also say there are probably another 45 restaurants which should be on this list, which aren't on the list. They just haven't been caught yet. I started the segment talking about Ecolab and what my wife used to do. These eateries, restaurants, they know for the most part in advance when the health department is going to show up and screen the business and assess their letter grade. Now, they may on occasion make some unscheduled visits, but by and large, they know when they're coming. So the letter in the middle, in the window, is only saying they earned that letter on that particular day. It doesn't mean that those are the common habits. And when you see a restaurant with a B in the window, stay away. Because they knew a B. Because that restaurant knew in advance that the health department was coming and still couldn't get an A.
I used to do a roundup of this stuff at my very first newspaper, and the things you find out about, like drying pans of fish on the roof of the building. This stuff happens a lot more than people realize.
A lot. And the more you know, the less likely you're going to want to eat out. It's later with Mo Kelly. We're going to talk about Pasadena and how it's going to host Olympic soccer at the Rose Bowl in just a moment.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
The city of Pasadena has reached an agreement with organizers of the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games to host Olympic soccer at the Rose Bowl. To be more specific, men's and women's semifinal and final matches will be held at the Rose Bowl. And the Rose Bowl will also make history as only the second venue in the world to host events for 3 separate Olympic Games. I assume they mean the LA Coliseum is the other one. That's the only one I could think of, most likely. The Rose Bowl previously hosted track cycling in the 32 games and soccer in 84. And according to the LA Times, Olympic basketball, get this, will be moved to the new Intuit Dome in Inglewood. Swimming is going to take place at SoFi Stadium. Swimming? SoFi Stadium? You do know that SoFi Stadium is a football stadium, and swimming is about the size of a basketball court, Olympic-sized pool.
Yeah.
Why would you put swimming at SoFi Stadium as opposed to like the Galen Center or something like that?
Even in Pasadena at Brookside. That is an Olympic level pool at Brookside.
I mean, they're actually going to have to bring in a wading pool? So I don't know how that's supposed to work when you're going to do it at SoFi Stadium, unless there's some sort of, it just doesn't make sense to me. Someone's going to have to explain that one to me. Let me see. Crypto.com is going to host gymnastics. BMO Stadium, that's a nice stadium. Mm-hmm. It's home of Los Angeles FC and Angel City FC. That will be the site of Olympic lacrosse. And get this, the debut of flag football in the Olympics. Stop it. I'd rather have seen bad breakdancing than flag football.
Come on, it's flag football. They're not going to do NFL level football in the Olympics.
I would rather see that. Let me put it this way. It's called the Olympic Games, but I don't want games in the Olympic Games. Flag football is a game to me.
They got pickleball too?
They may. I don't know. Let's look that up.
Could they combine the flag football with that deal with the stick and the ribbon and the ball?
Rhythmic gymnastics?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, what about hobby horsing?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Pickleball
at the Olympics.
Ball Olympics 2028.
Bumper pool?
There's no official confirmation on pickleball being an Olympic sport.
I don't see why not if you're going to do all the other stuff.
No, I don't know if it's too late or they just haven't decided yet. It's the results I'm getting is very, very non-committal.
It says that it could be added as early as 2032.
Oh, well, why waste time?
Yeah, 2032. So it won't be in 2028, thank goodness. Olympic softball is returning to the games, and it's the first time since 2020. And get this, Olympic softball and canoe slalom will be in Oklahoma City.
Why not?
I'm quite sure it's a great facility in Oklahoma, but why the hell would you have softball in Oklahoma City? Usually the city will just, can't you like convert a softball field somewhere and put in some stands or something so people can watch? Why would you ship all the athletes to another part of the country?
There are definitely places here in LA where you could have a decent softball game.
I'm sure you can. And what the hell is canoe slalom? What is canoe slalom?
It's kind of like when you put those canoes on your feet, right?
I don't know. And why do we have to go to Oklahoma to see canoe slalom? Canoe slalom. It is a competitive sport with the aim to navigate a decked canoe or kayak through a course of hanging downstream or upstream gates on river. Okay, I've seen that before. That's decent as a sport.
We don't have rivers here, so that's why.
Yeah, but I thought those were like man-made venues for the most part.
Well, if it is, then we could just do it in the LA River.
No, that's
clean that up.
I'm sure they could. But Mark, would you plan to go to any of the games?
Only if they do that pool game where you get on each other's shoulders and try to wrestle each other.
I don't think that's one of the games.
What do you call that game?
Pool wrestling? I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What if they played Marco Polo?
They might as well.
Okay. Marco Polo. Twala, any games that you would want to see since the Olympics are going to be here?
I would, and I know they're not going to. I would like to see a redo of the breaking because we have some of the best breakers in the world here in LA and in Southern California, period, even in the Bay Area. Yeah. We have some of the best break dancers, hands down. I would actually like to see a redo of that. I'd also like them to expand the martial arts beyond just Taekwondo. I would like to see maybe Hapkido.
They do judo.
They do judo. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, outside of that, I would like to see an expansion on jiu-jitsu, on maybe Hapkido, and various forms. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Even Muay Thai, versus just boxing.
I know.
What about that martial art where Steven Seagal just flings people across the room, barely touching their wrist?
Now, you could, though.
That's Aikido.
Yeah, you could.
Well, not the way he does it.
But still, I mean, movie. Yeah, you could. That would be something to watch on an Olympic stage, to watch the application and the forms and in their truest representation. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I would too. But look, it's not going to happen. All right, we got rhythm gymnastics, and you should be happy.
Flag football's taking the place.
Flag football. What is going on? What is going on in this world?
How about some leg wrestling?
Or thumb wrestling. Yeah. Pencil fights. I'd pay to see that.
Or arm wrestling.
Oh, no. What that game where you make a football out of a triangle of paper and flick it through people's hands?
Why the hell not?
We need that.
I'd pay money to see that. I mean, we're almost there. Hell, they got a league for slap fighting. We're pretty much there.
That was going to be my suggestion.
We need Olympic slap fighting.
Hey, wait a minute. And I heard Morgan is she doing slap fighting or is she doing straight up MMA fighting?
No, she's
doing it all.
Training to do it. Well, no, she likes us going to the slap fight competitions, just to watch, but she's actually training to do MMA.
Oh, we got to get her on to talk about that.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for
her coverage of UFC and even of slap fighting is fantastic.
She's a
great.
massive fan of it.
I just don't want to see her get hurt because I know her.
I know.
When they're nameless, faceless, I don't care. But we've known Morgan for years.
Exactly. No, she signed a contract, and then just recently she posted a video of her training, and she's going after it, man.
Oh, goodness. I'll pray for her. KFI AM 640, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
If it doesn't affect you, we're not interested.
KFI
and KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.